Happy morning, children. I feel extremely glad to welcome you all for this online learning. It's going to be our botany class today. And let me start with our chapter 10, unit 10, economic botany, economically useful plants and entrepreneurial botany. So this is going to be our last lesson. Already we have discussed the lesson 2 links before, and now let's revise with our question answer sections. We'll start discussing our question answer sessions. I want all of you to have your textbook with you and take your pencil. As we move into the video, mark the answers in your textbook, learn those answers and try to write it in your classwork notebook. So we are entering into our last lesson, that is chapter 10, economic botany. So this lesson consists of some questions from 15 to 35. So we'll be discussing one by one the answers now. We'll start with our 15th question. Write the cosmetic uses of aloe. Aloe is nothing but aloe vera. So we are going to learn the uses, cosmetic uses of aloe vera. So turn with me to page number 7.8 cosmetics. In that the first one is aloe. So we are going to learn the uses of aloe. So there the use is given. Let's learn point by point. Aloe is a mixture of glycosides and its gel are used as skin tonic. So gels are used as skin tonic. So that is the first use. Second, it has cooling effect and moisturizing character. Third, it is used in the preparation of creams, lotion, shampoo, shaving creams and aftershave lotions. Okay, this will be your third point. Fourth point, it is used in dermatological application for rejuvenation of aging skin. Your skin may sometimes make you look very old. So when you apply this gel, you will feel as if your age has been returned back and you will have a youthful skin. So it is used as rejuvenation of aging skin, to get back your skin again. That is your fourth uses. Fifth, products from aloe leaves have multiple properties such as emollient, antibacterial, antioxidant, antifungal and antiseptic. So this is our fifth point. Aloe vera gel is used in skin care cosmetics. 6 points. So we have taken 6 points for the uses of aloe. I repeat again, it is used as skin tonic, used for cooling effect and moisturizing, and it is used in the preparation of creams, lotion, shampoo, shaving cream and aftershave lotion, and it is used for regenerating of aging skins and used as emollient, antibacterial, antioxidant, antifungal, antiseptic, and it is a good skin care cosmetics. When you write this answer, put it out in points and write it one after the another. Is it okay, children? Next question, number 16. What is pseudocereal? Give an example. What is pseudocereal? Give an example. You will have this in the very beginning of your lesson in a box. Do you know? Okay, pseudocereal. What is pseudocereal? The term pseudocereal is used to describe foods that are prepared and eaten as a whole grain, but are botanical outliner from grasses. Okay, it's taken from the grasses and it is eaten as whole grain. Okay, example, quinoa. Okay, quinoa. It is actually a seed from Chenopodium quinoa, plant belonging to the family Amarantaceae, கீரை வகைகள். It is a gluten-free whole grain carbohydrate as well as whole protein, okay, and have been eaten for 6,000 years in Aedes Hill region. This quinoa consists of carbohydrate as well as protein, okay, and it belongs to the family Amarantaceae. The name of the plant is Chenopodium quinoa, and the grass and the seed is called, the cereal is called quinoa. It is taken as a whole food. So this you split it into many parts. The term pseudo cereal is used to describe food that is prepared and eaten as a whole grain. So that will be your first point. Second point, it is from the grass. Okay, it is from the grass. Example, quinoa. In example, you are going to write all these details. Quinoa, it is from Chenopodium, belonging to the family Amarantaceae. It has carbohydrate, it has protein, and eaten by the people of Aedes for more than 6,000. I've just make it into int like. So when you write this answer, try to write the same way. First define it, then give the example, then talk about it, about the name of the plant, the family, and what does it contain, whole carbohydrate and whole protein, and which people are using it. Okay, so this will be the answer for your question, Chenopodium. Okay, pseudo cereal. The next one is, discuss which wood is better for making furniture. Which wood is better for making furniture? Furnitures are made from different types of trees. Trees are used for making furnitures. Let's look into a particular wood. Okay, you will find it in 10.4, timber. In timber we have teak. Okay, this teak wood is good for making. It is one of the best timber of the world. Which is best timber of the world? Teak. So which wood is used for making furniture? Teak is used for making furniture because it is one of the best timber of the world. Why? Why are we making it? That is what we are going to learn now. First thing is, it is known for its durability. The very first point is, it is known for its durability as it's immune to the attack of termites and fungi. செல்லு பூச்சி, பூசணம் பிடிக்கிறது அதெல்லாம் இருக்காது. ஸோ termite is a செல்லு பூச்சி. Okay, so it has durability, first point. Second point, it is immune to the attack of termite and fungi. Third is, it does not split. It does not split or crack. When carpenter cuts it, the wood will not get powdered. It will stand as if it is going to be like a wood piece. Therefore, this wood is very useful for making furniture. First one, it is known for its durability. Second one, it shows immune to the attack of termite and fungi. Third is, does not split or crack when a carpenter using it. It is a carpenter friendly wood. Okay, so these are the 3 points. The uses of the wood is given there. You can also write that. So the question is, which wood is good for making furniture? Better for making furniture. So the answer is teak wood is better for making furniture because it shows durability, it shows immune to the attack of termite and fungi, and it does not split or crack. Therefore, it is a carpenter friendly wood. Now let's move to the next question, that is, a person got irritation while applying chemical dye. Okay, dye they apply for the head, for the hair to get colored. Okay, while applying they are getting irritated. What would be your suggestion for alternative to avoid this irritation and to make them to use something else from the chemical dye? What will you do? The best method would be using of natural dyes. Always natural products will not have any side effects. So you should recommend people to use things which is very much natural. So we'll go with the dye, natural dye. What is a natural dye here? Henna. Henna is nothing but Marudani. Okay. Henna's botanical name is Lawsonia enormis. What will you do? I would suggest henna. That would be your first answer. Okay. An orange dye henna is obtained from the leaves of young shoot of Lawsonia enormis. This is harmless and causes no irritation to the skin. This dye has long been used to dye skin, hair and fingernails. It is used for coloring, but we did not go with this point. Let's go talk about this line alone. An orange dye henna is obtained from the leaves of the young shoot, which is harmless. Okay, from there you will come over here to the third line, which is harmless and causes no irritation to the skin. So I would recommend this natural dye. Is it clear? Is it clear? So let me again underline and show you. An orange dye henna is obtained from the leaves and young shoots, which is harmless and causes no irritation to the skin. So I would recommend henna, the natural dye. So this will be the answer for that question. Now let's move to the next question. Give definition for organic farming. Give definition for organic farming. There are farming taking place, that is growing of the plants, where we apply chemicals for the growth of the plant. But instead of using chemicals, we are going to do it natural method way, that is called organic farming. So organic farming is an alternative agriculture system in which plants, crops are cultivated in natural way by using biological inputs to maintain soil fertility and ecological balance, thereby minimizing pollution and wastage. So this will be your definition. Okay, let me discuss again the answer. It is an alternative agricultural system where you grow the plants and crops in natural way by using biological inputs. Okay, it is an alternative agriculture method. It is a natural method in which you are using the biological inputs. For what we are doing it? To maintain soil fertility and ecological balance, minimizing pollution and wastage. So these are the key terms. You will find some 6 key terms important. Organic farming is an alternative agriculture method of growing plants in the natural way using the biological inputs. Why are we doing this? To maintain soil fertility, ecological balance, minimizing pollution and the wastage. So this is the definition for your organic farming. Organic farming answer is this. Let's move to the next question. Okay. Which is called as the king of bitter? Mention their medicinal importance. Bitter na kasapu. King of bitter, the most bitterest. Okay. So plant, which is it? They have asked you, which is called king of bitter. King of bitter is traditionally used in the Indian system of medicine. Who is this king of bitter? It is nothing but Nilavembu. Nilavembu is called the king of bitter. Its botanical name is Andrographis paniculata. Andrographis paniculata is the botanical name of Nilavembu. So Nilavembu is called the king of bitter. What is its medicinal uses? Okay, it is a potent hepatoprotective used to treat liver disorders. Okay, concoction of Andrographis paniculata and 8 other herbs Mixing it with another herbs, we prepare Nilavembu Kudineer, which was famous during the swine flu. So to treat that fever, government has recommended everyone to take this Nilavembu Kudineer. Okay, it is effectively used to treat malaria and dengue. So two important diseases are cured. One is it is used to treat liver disorders. Another one is it is used to treat malaria and dengue. What are its medicinal uses? They must. It is widely used to treat liver disorders, and it is effectively used to treat malaria and dengue. It's nothing but Nilavembu Kudineer. Okay, so bitter or king of bitter is nothing but Nilavembu. Its botanical name is Andrographis paniculate. Okay, now we'll move to the next question. What is write the origin and area of cultivation of green gram and red gram. Green gram is Pachapair and red gram is Thorambair. Okay, so we are going to find out from where they are cultivated, the area of origin from where they have come to our usage, from where it is cultivated and the place of its real birth. So we are going to study about 2 grams. One is the red gram, the other one is the green gram. Okay, origin and area of cultivation. Red gram. Okay, Gajanus kanjan. It is only native pulse of southern India. It is mainly grown in the state of Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka and Gujarat. So they have noted 5 states of South India: Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka and Gujarat. Okay, this is about the red gram, which is Pigeon gram. Our next is green gram, Vinca radiata. Okay, green gram is native of India and its earliest archaeological evidence are found in the state of Maharashtra. It is cultivated in the state of 3 states are given here, where Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Okay, so here for red gram 5 states: Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka and Gujarat. And for green gram you have Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu. So this is about the origin and area of cultivation. Now we'll move to the next question. Question number millets. What are millets? What are their types? Give examples of each type. What are millets? What are its types? Give examples for each type. At the very beginning of the lesson you will have millets. Okay, millets. Millets means Sirudhaniyangal. Sirudhaniyangal is millet. This millet is basically classified into 2 types. One is major millets, another one is minor. In major you got finger millet, that is Rahi, and Sorghum. Okay, Sorghum vulgare. Okay, Kambu. So Ragi and Kambu, that is finger millet, Ragi, Sorghum, Kambu. These both makes the major millet. And minor millet, you got minor millet, foxtail millet. Another one is Kodu millet. Okay, this foxtail millet is the oldest millet from China and it is used for making a borage. Okay, the name is Serratia indica, foxtail millet. Another one is Kodu millet. It is Phasphallium chrysobellatum. It is from West Africa. Okay, West Africa, Kodu millet, and it is used for making flour and to reduce obesity, blood pressure and all these things. So how will you write this answer? First you have to write the definition. The term millet is applied to a variety of very small seeds originally cultivated by Asian people in Africa and Asia. So this will be your definition. In bracket you can mention Sirudhaniyangal. This millet is of 2 types: major millet, finger millet, Ragi, Sorghum, Kambu. Minor millet, foxtail millet, and another example is Kodu millet. So they've asked you only to define what is millet, to mention what are its type and explain with their example. So with this, let me conclude our today's link. The remaining answers we will discuss in our next class. I want all of you to watch this. Kindly make note of the answers, write in your notebook and submit your notebook for correction.